Welcome to the Following the Joy podcast with me, Debbie Westwell, confidence and mindset coach and massive travel enthusiast. This podcast is a place to talk about being the best version of yourself, following your heart, making scary changes and having fun on this adventure that we call life. I'm your biggest cheerleader and I want you to know that it is never too late to start over and make a life you are excited to get out of bed for. So let's go and get following the joy.
Hello. I want to talk to you on a solo episode today about all things to do with what we say, the kind of words we use, the magic of words, the power of them, and asking the universe and just being careful and the cautions behind it and some cautionary tales. So this is all stemmed from something recent where I've had like a light bulb moment, and I have a lot of manifesting powers. I know that we all do, but I'll get into that in a minute. Anyway, so let's start at the beginning. So, my lovely listeners, I'm sure you've heard the term that words are magic and you need to use them carefully. And that's why we call it spelling, because we're casting spells with the words that we use. And this is massively important in how we speak about ourselves, but also what we put out into the universe and what we request back. So I guess point one is just try and catch yourself if you are saying something in a negative manner to yourself. There's all kinds of science behind it. So for example, if you drop something and you're like, oh, stupid woman, stupid Debbie, or something like that, the universe doesn't know, or your brain doesn't know that you're not being serious. So it's like, oh, I'm stupid because I'm being told I'm stupid, and therefore that's a cue to tell me that I am stupid, and therefore I'm going to look for all the things that prove that I am stupid. Same if you're going, oh, I really don't like my nose, it's too big, or my eyes are too squinty, or I've got wrinkles, or whatever. Your brain goes, oh, we're supposed to have wrinkles because that's what we're looking for, so let's look for more wrinkles and let's prove what we're putting out there. I hope that makes some kind of sense. So basically it's a little bit of a cautionary thing. Treat yourself with kindness. You wouldn't necessarily walk up to somebody else and point out a big spot on their face. I mean, I might. Some other people might, but in general, people don't do that. So, don't do it to yourself, basically, if you're not going to do it to somebody else. So make sure the words that you're using are chosen with caution. And it's okay to kind of stop yourself halfway through a sentence and be like, no, I've done it before where I've dropped something and I'm like, flipping heck, Debbie, you're silly. And then I'm like, no, it's okay. Do you know what? Accidents can happen to anybody. It's fine. We're all going to be fine. Don't worry. We'll tidy it up. Not a problem. These things happen. So just treat yourself with kindness. And in a similar vein, the words that you use have a power to them. So I think I've mentioned this in one of my previous episodes. But when you say I am, it is a permanent state of being. I am Debbie. I am currently 44. I am a female. I am. It's very specific. When you say I am and have an emotion attached to it, your body doesn't know that it's an emotion and it's specific. So I am angry. This is like, oh, brain's like, permanent state of anger? Yes, down for that. This is who we are. This is a specific state. So again, when you're starting to get those emotions, try I am feeling. So, or I feel, or this is making me. So that tells your kind of the part of your brain that's trying to keep you safe that this is just a temporary thing. So I am feeling angry at the moment. It's temporary, it's fleeting. We know it's going to move on at some point. And we know we'll be back to being I am fabulous, so again, just have a little bit of a thought about that kind of thing, of how you're describing things. And then also words in request, want, desire. So like, I want this, or I need to do this, or I have to do this. Like, I have to go and walk the dog. I have to do my washing. I need to clean the bathroom. All of those things have a negative connotation about them, but actually I get to walk the dog. I get to clean the bathroom. I choose to clean the bathroom because actually, ultimately, it comes down to a choice. And you don't have to clean your bathroom. You don't have to take the dog for a walk. There could be consequences. People might come round and then you've got a dirty bathroom, or your dog might poo in your house. Who knows? But there's always a choice, and there's always consequences to that choice. And so try again, instead of saying I want and I need or I have to, try being like, I choose to, or I wish to, or, I get to. So I guess that's kind of like the first part of the wording that we use and how we've got to be a little bit cautious around it. But also, I kind of want to get into the manifesting part of things as well. You will have seen lots of people out there all talking about manifesting and how to do it. And there are definitely skills around it. And there's ways of speeding it up. And there's ways of making it come a little bit faster and be a little bit better. But you've just got to be very, very specific. Very specific. We are all genuinely magic creators. We all have magical creation inside of us, and whatever we are putting out there is what we are getting. And I know that sounds very woo, but I am very woo. So for example, I'm going to take back to some examples from my life, and my most recent one, which is the one that's like kind of kicked me up the bum to do this episode, is I am sitting in my flat. Well, I'm in my flat. And last year, I saw everybody. I live 10 minutes from the beach. And last year, I saw so many people doing cold water swimming. And I really wanted to get into cold water swimming. And I looked into it. You're supposed to have a cold shower, or like turn your showers to cold towards the end of them. And I was saying, well, I can't do that because I've got an issue with my boiler and it only goes hot water. So I had to have it like all on cold, 100% cold out the tap, and like a millimeter of hot. And that was still roasting. And so I was like, I can't really do that. So I need cold water. How many times have I probably said that to myself last year? Hundreds, I would say, or at least not thought it. I've definitely said it like to lots of different people. I've got a problem with my heating and I just get hot water all the time. I'd like some cold water. Then my boiler broke at the back end of 2023. I had it replaced. I didn't have it replaced, sorry. I had it fixed. I had the thermostats changed in them. And I fast forward to January 2024 and I'm going to have a bath because I'm feeling run down. I've got a cold. I've got a podcast interview coming up. And I can't run a full bath because I've not got enough hot water. I've had to boil a couple of kettles worth of water to put it in. So I'm sat in my 3 inches of tepid water because I'm determined that I'm going to have a bath. I've not given up on this idea. I'm determined I'm going to have a bath. And it occurs to me, good on you, universe. This is exactly what I asked for. I asked for cold water. I said, I need cold water in my bathroom because I've only got hot water. What I should have asked for was the ability to get hot or cold water as I require in the bathroom. So to have them equally and be able to change the temperature of the water. But what I got was exactly what I requested. I wanted cold water in my bath. And so in my bathroom. And so I'm now having a cold bath because I have no hot water. So that is just one little example of why you need to be really careful of the things that you throw out there without even like giving them the intention that you want them to come true. Another example to give you an idea, I remember being on holiday in Mexico with a friend of mine and just saying, I'm not 100% happy where my life is right now. I'm not in the job that I want to be in. I'm not doing what I want to do. And she looked at me and she said, are you having a laugh? When we lived together, like 2-3 years previously, she said, all you said was you wanted to work remotely and to live near a beach. And you have bought a place near a beach and you are able to work remotely from your laptop every single day. So you got exactly what you asked for. So again, it's an example of we ask, the universe delivers. It delivers very specifically. It's like got a very sick sense of humor, a very twisted sense of humor in the fact that you've got to be very specific. It's almost like when you are putting something out into the universe, you have to be a lawyer and work around all of those loopholes, because otherwise you will get what you ask for. Another example, I remember I was doing I was doing a pole dancing course for fitness ages ago. And I was saying, it was when I this was like decades ago. And when I was first starting to get into the secret and things like that. And so I was like, oh, come on, I just want some money. In my head, I'm thinking I'd like £1,000, but I'm saying out loud, I would like some money. I would like some money. I would like some money. And I was in the changing rooms of the gym where I was going to do the pole dance class. And I walked into the pole dance class having already signed up for a burlesque class, kind of a one-off session. And my pole instructor says, we're terribly sorry to tell you that the burlesque class is going to have to be cancelled, so you'll all be getting your refunds. So there you go. Thanks, universe. I got the money that I was asking, but I didn't specify how much I wanted for. In my head, I thought £1,000. In reality, I got my 30 quid back or whatever it was. So you've just kind of got to laugh and go with it. But also, I can acknowledge it that it's happening. It's happening. So I guess what I'm saying to you is, just have a little think back in your life of all those like random little amusing things that you've probably said that have actually come true. And this is a really good thing to do over a good glass of wine with your girlfriends or your family, and just say, hey, at any point did I say that I wanted this? And surely somebody will probably come back and be like, yeah, can you not remember for ages that you were saying that you wanted, I don't know, red toenails, and now you've got some form of infection on them. That's very extreme. Instead of like a nail paint, whatever. As a daft example, I'm trying to come up on the spot here. But yes, so have fun with it. Manifesting can be fun, but just be careful of the words that we are using all of the time. And I mean, so I've shared my story before about manifesting money. It's gotten me into my job, and you speed up your manifestations by either drawing an image or having an image. That's why people do vision boards, for example, something that they look at every day, that like that's where I want to be. You can do manifestation visualization exercises. You can do meditation that kind of takes you to the place of you already having been doing, and you have to tell yourself that you have that, or you are experiencing whatever you want to experience in the present tense. So like, it is the 31st of December 2030, and my millions in my bank account is always growing, and I am super successful, and I only work 5 hours of the week, and the millions keep rolling in. Everything that I just said then is present tense. It's happening now, like it's happening right now, because you can almost like defy time with what you're telling your brain. I hope that makes a little bit of sense and helps you a little bit with manifesting. As I say, there's a whole technique, and there's lots of courses on manifesting, and there's plenty of people out there that do it, but you're already doing it 100%. I just want you to go and find the evidence that you're already doing it. And I would love to hear any of those aha moments, those light bulb moments, like me sat in the cold bath going, I genuinely asked for this and I got it. So yes, so just to recap, I know this is like very brief, and it's probably something you've all heard before, but I'm just amusing myself anyway. So be careful of how you speak to yourself. Speak to yourself with kindness. Be careful of the words you choose. So feelings are fleeting. So I am feeling emotions. Make sure it's a fleeting thing rather than I am, which is a permanent state. Try changing the words I need, I want to I choose to, or I wish to. And just have a little reflect back on where you are now, the things that are happening, and have you maybe asked for them in your life, and have they turned up in a very quirky way, and not quite what you imagined, but you actually still got what you wanted. Another really brief story is everybody in lockdown, all of my friends were all signed off on furlough. They were on 80% wage. Everybody was, finding themselves and doing exercise during the day. I worked for a job at the time that I was getting overtime, and I was busy. So I was like, this is great. But oh, I didn't get that chance of me to like find myself and have that time off in furlough. Fast forward a few years when my mum got sick and I was signed off work with stress, and I got that time. Again, wasn't quite what I expected. I didn't wish for my mum to get ill for me to get that time, but it's just quirky the way that I actually got, I had 4.5 months off work where I could decide what I wanted to do and made those changes in my life. So, yes, I am going to send it out there with love. Choose your words carefully, treat yourself with kindness and others with kindness, obviously, and just have a little laugh at what the universe is delivering for you, because you have definitely asked for it.
Thanks for listening today. I hope you enjoyed that conversation as much as I did. And as always, any links or anything mentioned will be in the show notes. If you haven't connected with me already, I'd love to meet you. So come find me on Instagram at Debbie Westwell Coaching. You can always slide into my DMs and let me know what you thought about this episode. Or why not join my Facebook community, the Alchemy of Self-Care free community. You can also find out how to work with me at debbiewestwell.com. If you like what you hear, then please follow me or hit the bell icon. Share with somebody like you who would benefit from listening. And if you have time, then leave me a positive review and that would be fabulous. Thank you for being your wonderful self, and I can't wait to chat next time.